Well, Louise calls you out on your stuff, and she says it with love, and she has the ability to be brutally honest with you and give you practical tools to help you do things differently. So it's just a really effective approach of actually changing the way that things play out. And Louise is always quite available. If you need her, you can message her or even have a last minute chat with her if you're really going through something tough, which I find really helpful. So for me, the biggest breakthroughs were realizing my part in all of my relationship dynamics. And one of the big things for me was the fact that it always takes two to fight. As Louise says, there are no one-man fights. So I think that makes us realize that we always have a huge part to play. And I have come to realize how defensive I can be. And Louise helped me to see that and has helped me to be much less defensive. I was taking too much responsibility for other people, and by doing that, we're robbing others of the ability to change themselves. That was also a big one for me. And yeah, like I said before, I've learned that we are always to blame. We always have a part to play. We're never just the victims or the innocent party. It's always us as well. And that's, I think, a big thing that people could realize in their lives and their relationships. If they took on more responsibility for things, it would be different. So yeah, so those are the big breakthroughs for me. I am able to communicate much more openly and authentically because I know a lot more of what's going on with myself and in my relationships. Call things for what they are, because now I know what is actually going on. Whereas I think sometimes you get so caught up in a story or in a pattern that we just on autopilot and we're not realizing what's actually going on behind the scenes. So Louise has helped me to be able to figure that out more easily, and then it just makes communication much easier. And I also am able to generally, not always, to pause and to try and see my part in any situation. But that, there's still moments that I don't do that. I suppose we're not perfect and it's just a journey. One of the big changes in myself is that I have started to know myself a lot better, which makes me feel much safer in myself. And it also allows me to be much more authentic in relationships, because if you don't know yourself, you can't really share that authentic part of yourself. So that has been also quite a big change, which is quite fantastic. I have seen one or two psychologists before, and there was some helpful stuff there, but generally it was all talk therapy, which I found not that effective, because also it becomes like the psychologist is almost on your side with any sort of thing, any sort of problem you're going through, and that's kind of unhelpful, whereas Louise seems to give quite an objective view and standpoint. And like I said, she gives practical tools and advice which you can implement, and she'll even give you examples of things that you can say, or she'll tell you what, check your tone or check your body language and all those kind of things. And I found that psychologists haven't ever given me that sort of advice before. It was all kind of just sitting and listening to what you had to say, which I suppose is helpful to a point, but after a while, it's not that helpful. Yeah, Louise is quite like, no, this is what's going on. And sometimes you just need a bit of a slap in the face or a kick in the teeth or any sort of other painful experience like that. I just want to, thank Louise for being so helpful. I think that it seems that she's helped a lot of people, so she really is very gifted in her ability to interact with all sorts of people and to give real advice and to still have compassion and love and kindness and not be judgmental. So she's had a really crucial part to play in my life in the past few months, so I'm very grateful for her coming across her path. But thank you, Louise.